The tribal leaders said, we feel strongly we're ready to do this. We need to keep our own deadlines. We need to take ourselves.
Over 1,000 tribal leaders, officials, and other representatives from across Indian country were on hand for the 2016 National Congress of American Indians Mid-Year Conference at the Spokane Convention Center. From 1944 to the modern era, NCAI has been a leading force and voice in protecting tribal sovereignty.
73 years ago, our elders dreamed of a day like this when tribes from across the nation would continue to come together with one voice to work on common issues that affect each and every one of us on a daily basis. Even though we may be 567 sovereigns, and we might be sovereigns that are state recognized, that are part of our organization, at the end of the day, our issues are still the same. You know, we have healthcare issues and economic development issues, we have treaty rights issues, we have funding issues. So even though 567 of us are sovereigns, at the end of the day, speaking with one voice in Washington, D.C., working on the same issues, with the same goals is what we are all about here at NCAI. The 200 to 300 tribes that come to our organization and participate in the work that we do, even though we don't have 567 nations, we do not speak for any one tribe. NCAI does not speak for any tribe. I do not speak for any tribe. But the work that we do, we advocate on behalf of 567 tribes, because at the end of the day, when you look at all the bills that we're able to pass, all the legislation we're able to pass, all of the rules and regulations that agencies change to positively impact Indian country is having an effect on all 567 nations when it comes to getting increases in funding, when it comes to having access and having DC hear us. That affects all 567 nations. There are various reasons why not all of the 567 tribes are able to participate. For example, you know, the largest group of tribes in the U.S. resides in one state, that's Alaska. Just about half the tribes in the nation reside up there. And as you can imagine, some of those villages are very small. Some of those villages are very poor, and their opportunity to participate and come here is very, very limited because of the travel factor.
This is the smaller of two conferences held annually by NCAI. Breakout sessions for the mid-year conference covered issues such as protecting sacred sites, tribal homeland security, and strengthening the Indian Child Welfare Act, plus many others. Native youth also have a place at the conference.
I shared with them how important it is for them to get their education. That is the key. I let them know to breaking historic trauma. All of us are still plagued with historical trauma that was inflicted upon us by the federal government's policy in the 1800s. The only good Indian is a dead Indian, to that evolved to General George Pratt's initiative of kill the Indian, save the man. And so we're still living under those harmful historical trauma in even our grandkids' generation. So my message to them is to break that historical trauma through education, become productive members of society, make good choices, get a good education, and break that cycle of historical trauma to where we're not having to live it in our lives, but we're only going to be reading about it in the history books.
As president of such a large organization, President Clattersby is often sought out by many who seek an audience with him. He also understands the importance of reaching out to the non-native population and developing strong working relationships.
It's a great responsibility. I'm only allowed to do it by the grace of God, and to be able to travel around the nation to different communities and to different conferences to represent NCAI, going back to DC to meet with the president, to meet with his cabinet, to meet with senators, to meet with congressmen, to meet with agency heads is a wonderful opportunity. And I've got three priorities in life: serving God, serving my family, and serving my community. And my community has increased by 567 nations in the last 2 years. And so I am very grounded, very, very grounded in my faith, in my Creator, and instilled in me at a very young age by my grandfather. You know, we're still here, and we are 21st century, the majority of us are 21st century governments whose infrastructure is second to none. We are becoming very, very serious, productive members of society, becoming those economic engines that our grandparents hoped that we would be, and we are employing people, we're paying wages, we are paying benefits, we're not going to go anywhere. We are here to stay. Get to know us, learn about us, and if the people would really speak out and encourage the government, the schools, whoever, to have a true reflection of the history of the treatment of Native Americans, I think that would go a long way for people to understand who we are and what we're about. We're in our 73rd year of existence, and I'm the 21st president of this organization, and I got the greatest job in the world.